Welcome everyone to the zoning board meeting of February 8th, 2022. My name is Marty Akins. I'm the chairman. The vice chairman has resigned after 10 years, and we want to thank him for his service. Mike was a great guy, and we're going to miss him. But we have a few things we're going to clean up here first. Going on the old business, case number ZBA 2117. Charlie, can I make a motion to move that until May 10th?
Yep. Mr. Chairman, regarding case number 21-17, Vaughn Trubzu for a variance finding to construct a two-family home on the lot using a flow-proof foundation and a driveway pavers on the premises numbered 15 Jewett Street in Quincy. I'd like to make a motion to have this hearing moved till the May 10th.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none. Madam Clerk, can we get a vote?
They're gone. Unmute, Jay.
I got you on mute. Go ahead. Sorry.
Charlie O'Brien,
Yes.
Russell Chin,
Yes.
John Himmel,
Yes.
Martin Akins.
Yes. Thank you. Further on to tonight, ZBA case 2191. JBC Architect wants to move 114 Curtis Ave until March 22nd, 22. Could I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, regarding case 21-91, JCBT Architect for a variance to convert the existing single-family 1.5-story home into a 2.5-story duplex with a 2.5-story rear addition with proposed curb cut and driveway on the right yard with 5 to 6 parking places on the premises numbered 114 Curtis Avenue, Quincy. I make a motion to move this hearing until March 22nd.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, Madam Clerk, can we get a vote, please?
Yes, Charlie O'Brien,
Yes.
Russell Chin,
Yes.
John Himmel,
Yes.
Martin Akins.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. What we do have tonight is one case, and it's 295 Billings Street. So if anyone's
Billings
interested
Road.
in that, Billings Road, I'm sorry. If anyone's interested in that case, please stay on. If you want to listen, you could stay on, but that's the only case we have on record. Those other two cases will be heard. Jewett Street will be held May 10th, and Curtis Ave will be March 22nd. If I could, anyone now, we're going to go into executive sessions, which we do once a year, to vote for the chairman, the vice chair, and the board and the clerk. Could I have a motion, Charlie, please, to go into executive sessions? Everyone
Chair, I
will
made
be,
a motion.
1 minute, Charlie. Everyone will be knocked out of the meeting. You'll be in a holding room. When we're done, we'll come back, open the meeting again. You'll be brought back into the Zoom meeting, and the results will be given to you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to move to executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 For the folks at home, it should be about 10 minutes.
Yep. You'll be about 10 minutes on hold. Thank you.
Brian just joined us.
Oh, Brian just joined us. Great. Jonathan, if you could take care of that and let us know when we're ready. Welcome back, everybody. We just had a yearly meeting. Vice chair, the chairman is Martin Akins. Vice chair is Brian Riddell, and our board members are the same. Madam Clerk is Noreen Murphy. And let me explain those two cases. Jewett Street, you will get notification on the city website 2 weeks before the hearing. You'll also get 114 Curtis Ave 2 weeks before that meeting. You will get that, and the dates. The dates are for Jewett Street, May 10th. If you logged in late, May 10th is going to be Jewett Street will be heard, and Curtis Ave will be March 22nd. We will hear that case. So the only case we're hearing tonight, because of people moving, is 295 Billings Road. So with that, is the applicant or representative for Billings Road here?
Yeah.
Jay, that should be on your side. You should know what it is. I can't see on my side.
It's Jim. Here we got it.
All right.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Jim Chen here, representing JCBT Architect for project at 295 Billings Road.
Mm-hmm.
So since last submission, we had went back to the drawing board and reduced the size of the building from 30. It used to be 30 feet by 50 feet. Now we reduced it the depth to 30 by 46 feet, so 4 feet less. And then we shift the entire building to the right side of the lot, leaving 10 feet left yard setback. It used to be 2 feet. And then the front yard setback, we push it back to close to 25 feet away from the front property line. We're demoing the existing garage and reconstructing a 2-car garage at the rear of the property, which gives us 4 parking spaces, 2 in garage and 2 on the outside. And also it reduced from a 3-story down to a 2.5-story. It will be a 2-unit. First unit will be a 2-bedroom plus 2 bath. And the second floor and the attic space will be the owner occupied unit, which would have 3-bedroom and 3.5 bath.
3.5 baths?
Yes.
What's the building made out of? What are you putting on the sides? What are you putting on the fascia?
Hardy plank lap siding.
All right. Hardy plank. Now, what are we doing with this? It's like a shared driveway you got here?
It's an easement for the Sachem Brook. I don't think there is a shared driveway.
So
For
you
the lot.
go through that? All right. So you got an easement to go through that?
Right.
All right. So I'm looking at it. I don't even know where that's going down back. I just didn't know where it was going. This plan.
It's cutting through a lot of lots.
Yep. So on the attic, we have, I mean, you went down to 2.5 stories. Why are you making all that space up there? I'm trying to wonder where you get 3 bedrooms upstairs with, 2 full baths.
Well, the third floor will be a 2-bedroom and plus another 1-bedroom on the second floor.
Right, but you got, so the 3rd floor, all right, I see where you're going. And then the bedrooms downstairs on the other side, all right. All right. Damn. And you got, and then what do you got? Like dormers on each side, correct?
Correct, yes.
All right. Okay. Any questions from the board, Mr. O'Brien?
No, I think he moved it away from the abutting neighbors, but it's still pretty big. The way I look at it, he maxed out the height of it,
Yeah.
which was one of the contentions of the neighbors. The elevation of it, but I don't have a question regarding it. I'm just looking at it, so I'm done here.
All right. Mr. Chen?
A question, Jim, about the brook. Is that an active brook, and what kind of restrictions do you have building on top of it with the driveway?
I believe it's an active brook, but we're passing through it on top of the just the driveway. We're not building any structure above that.
Yeah, I see the garage is not on the dotted line, so no issue with sinking of your driveway or depression over there because of the brook being underneath it, moving?
No, currently there's a driveway, so I think it's deep enough that it's not going to affect it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Radell,
So the variances on this one, Jim, are minimum lot width and frontage, right? That side yard setback, and then you're not even a foot short of the front yard, right? Or because you moved it, is that gone?
We're still a little bit short. Front yard setback cost is 25. We're 24.77. So we're
Okay.
about 3 inches short.
And what's the? I didn't hear. What was the total height? Is it 35?
34.6
Okay.
to the peak.
Okay.
any other
And did-
questions, Radell?
I did hear. I thought I heard you say that the second unit is owner occupied. Is that correct right now?
That is
That's the
correct.
intention. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thanks.
The ratio on the far, that's the same, 5.2? 0.52?
The FAR, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
5.2, all right. All
Yeah,
right,
it shouldn't
I just
have
wanna know
changed.
that, that's all.
5.52, correct.
Mr. Himmel?
The brook, I assume, is encased. I mean, it's not just that it's got to be concrete.
It's underground.
encased. Yeah. My only question.
Mr. Chin? I'm sorry,
Yes,
did I call you?
Yeah, I already had an opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I didn't know if I'm saying, geez, I called him, I went by him. I'm sorry. Okay, let's hear from the public. Is there anyone opposed? I mean, I'm sorry, is anyone in favor of this project? Anyone in favor of this project?
Both hands that are
Jonathan,
up.
you gotta let me know, I can't see up here.
Sure, we have 2 hands up that are for opposed, but there are some questions from, I think, both of them and some other people. They're looking to see the plans, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we can do that. Do you have the set of plans so you can put up and go through them so they understand what the project is?
I do.
All right, could you share that screen, please, Jonathan?
You should be all set. Go right ahead.
You could go through the design form, please.
Yes. So the outline shown here is the proposed building footprint. The blue line in the back is the original footprint of the house. So on the left side here, we're showing 10 feet away from the property line, and then from the front is 24.77. This original garage will be removed and constructing a new 2-car garage over here. Two in garage and 2 parking on the outside. The dotted line is the active brook, which we're passing the driveway over it, but nothing is built right on top of it. The first floor unit is a 2-bedroom unit and 2 bathroom. Second floor unit is an owner occupied unit. They have a bedroom here on the lower floor, 1.5 bathroom here on the second floor. And then in the attic space, 2 additional bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. And in comparison to what was submitted previously, it was a 3-story. Now knock it down to a 2.5-story with dormer on both sides, with a maximum height of 34 feet 6 inch to the peak.
Thank you. And when we get into the questions and answers, they'll have a good understanding of the size of the building and what's there. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, if you could clear the screen for me, please. Thank you. Is there anyone in favor? In favor? I want to know if anyone's in favor of this project. Please raise your hand. *69. Jonathan, if you could explain.
Sure. If you're looking to speak, whether right now is for in favor, but this also goes for opposed, use your reactions button. There should be a virtual hand raise or some sort of reaction. If you're calling in on a cell phone, it's *9. Worst case, turn your monitor on, give us a wave, or send a chat to the host.
Thank you, Jonathan.
We have phone number 85, last four digits 3081.
Mr. Chin, could you please give an oath?
Yes, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
Phone number with 3081. Unmute yourself. Excuse me, 703-3081. It's your turn to speak. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, Jonathan, move on.
Okay. I'm not sure if Anita's looking to speak in favor or not.
There he is, unmuted.
Go ahead. We have the cell phone unmuted. Go right ahead.
Okay, go ahead. You have to take an oath.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
Phone number,
Can't hear
last one. Phone number 3081. You're up to talk.
Speak up. Can't hear you. Jonathan, we'll have to get back to him. Yeah.
We'll come back to you if you're looking to.
Okay.
I'm not seeing any other hands. Anita put her hand down for in favor, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Madam Clerk, is there any correspondence read into this, please? Could you read that for us? Sorry.
There's nothing new, Marty.
I know.
Everything was read at the last meeting.
All right. Why don't we just read it again just in case no one heard it?
I have a DPW comment letter and several opposition letters and emails. DPW
Okay, we'll get
comments.
to that when that time comes. All right, you could, anything in that letter, if you want to write the DPW letter, read it, please.
Yeah, we have reviewed the submittal for the above referenced project and our comments are as follows. 1, specify how much impervious area will be increased due to the development. 2, provide plans showing the existing site conditions, layout of utility, grading, and drainage. 3, explain how the surface runoff will be discharged and treated. And 4, upon completion of the project, as-built plans showing all utilities and building footprints need to be submitted along with a digital file. An elevation certificate should be also submitted if the property is in a flood zone. That's
Thank
it.
you, Madam Clerk. And I'll get back to you on the letters of opposition. All right, we'll call that part of the hearing closed. Anyone opposed or undecided?
Mr. Chairman, you have Councilor Phelan with his hand up.
Councilor Phelan first, sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the zoning board. I just wanted to come up. I'm going to be speaking in opposition to this. I think you'll find that there's going to be a lot of other neighbors out there. I think there was just a little confusion that want to speak. So I think if you say it's opposition, I think you're going to hear. I heard from a lot of the people in this neighborhood. I've talked to them. I've looked at it. I've said returned several phone calls. And I sent out the letter originally about this, letting people know what was happening at the zoning board.
Okay.
That is an active brook. Sachem Brook is an active brook. That's an active brook. This area floods. Anything you're going to do with the water table down there, it's very low. If I'm not mistaken, part of the thing is looking for special permit for a flood variance. And this is a tough area. I know people have been shut down for trying to put decks on the back of their house, and it was not allowed. So this is putting and from what I see from the plans, we're now looking at even a big, it's about the same size, and it's not really a half story. It looks more like a full story to me. I'm not an engineer, I'm not an architect, but it looks like a full story to me, and everything, it doesn't fit in the neighborhood. There's the side yards, the things, I just am opposed to it because I live with the problems of Sachem Brook afterwards. The end is under there, goes out, you can see the outfall pipe by the yacht clubs because it will go through all those backyards, and there is a problem with that. And so based on that, based on the size of it, based on not feeling it fits in the neighborhood, I just want to be recorded in opposition to this.
Counselor, thank you for your time and thank you for hanging in tonight. We appreciate that. We appreciate your insight in the neighborhoods because you live it every day. Thank you. Is there anyone else opposed or undecided?
We'll go to Anita.
Nita, take an oath, please.
Yes,
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
I do. Yeah,
Thank you.
I am definitely opposed to this. May I speak now?
Yep.
Okay. I am definitely opposed to this. I live 2 doors away,
Okay.
and the house next door to that is 297 Billings Road, and that's a small house. Now, these poor people are going to have to look out to this huge building. On the side view of this, I'm looking at the plan, and the side view of this, which they would be looking out to, is definitely a 3-family. Now, if there's a 3rd floor with 5.5 bedrooms in this house, I mean 5.5 bathrooms, why do you need 5.5 bathrooms? If after the inspection, the original inspection is done, I'm sure there's going to be a 3rd family in that 3rd floor. Why would you need so many bathrooms if not? That's first of all. And second of all, this view that I was talking about from me 2 doors away and the people right next door to them, it's a 3-family side view. It definitely is a 3-family looking house. There are
3
no
stories, you mean? You mean 3 stories, correct?
3 stories. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we know that there might be a 3rd family in there after the inspection is done. And the other thing is it's 1,000 square feet larger than my house. I have a 2-family house 2 doors away, but this one is even 1,000 feet more square feet than mine. 5.5 baths. I don't understand that at all. The floor area is over the ordinance requirement limited, first of all. And then the people on the left have no air, no sun, no view. I mean, it's a 3-story house. I don't care how you slice it. There might be calling it a 2-family, but it's a 3-story, and it doesn't belong in this area. We don't want it, and that's the bottom line. It looks like from the view that I'm looking at of this architectural design, it looks to me like an apartment building. I'm sorry, but it doesn't fit in this neighborhood. We're a small community neighborhood with 1-family and 2-family homes. This definitely looks like a 3-family. You may call it a 2-family, but it definitely looks like a 3.
Anita, we appreciate your time and we thank you for staying up to be online. Thank you. Is there anyone else opposed or undecided, please?
We'll try going back to that cell phone, and then we'll come to Laurie and Lai Sin Hu. So cell phone or phone number again, 3081. I'm going to send you the request on.
Cell phone, are you there? Last call. Are you there? Cell phone. Are you there?
Hello,
Yeah?
I'm here.
Good.
Can you hear
I want
me?
you to take an oath. What's your name, please?
My name is Karen Murphy.
Karen, where do you live, please? Your address.
I live on 117 Vassal Street, Quincy.
Okay. And you please take an oath for me, Karen. Thank you.
I will.
Ms. Murphy, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
I do.
Thank you.
Karen, you can speak now.
Okay. I am opposed to this. I wrote a letter to the zoning board.
Okay.
I've been living here for 25 years. We also have a house around the corner on Billings Road further down. That's a 3-family, and they can't even sell it. To begin with, in this letter that I wrote back in November 16, that I brought down to the zoning board personally, saying that I oppose this.
Mhm.
These were all summer homes at one point, and people didn't even live here year round.
Mhm.
And people that decided to live here, just these houses weren't even insulated at 1920s. But people that did live here decided to fix them up. But at the point of keeping them the way they are, if this person wanted to, whoever bought this 295 Billings Road, wants to live in the manner that they want to live in, why move over here and demolition this house to look like an apartment building? I don't understand this. To begin with, this house is oversized to the point of it doesn't belong in this area. Okay, so I agree with the other woman, plus the point of there's just not that kind of space for that kind of a house.
Right.
It just doesn't belong here. The other point is that the zoning board is here for a purpose, and that purpose is to establish the rules and regulations to keep in order, not to change for personal purposes and that don't benefit the community. And this house certainly doesn't benefit the community. And I don't see this house benefiting the community either. And it's an eyesore. It's also too high. It doesn't belong here. The other thing is, who knows whether these people are going to live here. They might flip the house. Who knows, for a fast buck? We don't even know that either. We don't even know if this person that's going to own the house is going to stay there. We have,
you know what?
On,
and that's what we do, Karen. We just got to say, it doesn't matter what you're building now. You could move tomorrow. And it's not, you know,
exactly.
And it doesn't matter about what family member is going to live there. That don't mean it. It's the house itself we look at. We really do. Because the story don't mean nothing. It's the property that's going to be built there for the neighbors.
Right. And we're stuck with it. We're already stuck with it. And the point is that this kind of a house does not belong in this area. It just doesn't. And the thing is, you're going to have an over-excessive amount of abundance of cars. You're going to have fighting over parking spots, which we already have a problem now, and especially with the snow that we just had.
Yeah.
And the fact of we have the flood zone business, and that Sketchum Brook is an active brook. No matter what you do with it, it is an active brook.
Right.
And for these people to want to do what they want to do with that house, that's just, I'm sorry. You just can't do this. You just can't do this and upset the rest of the community for one person's, I don't know what. They want a dream home. Go buy 2 acres of land somewhere and go do this, but not here. Just not here.
No, we hear you, Karen, and that's what the board wants, the input from the neighbors. And I appreciate your time here tonight, and I appreciate you logging in to make sure that you can be heard in the city of Quincy. Thank you very much.
And as I said, there is a letter that I did write for November 16th. That's
what I will do, since you spoke, what I will do is I'll ask her to take that out of the record because you spoke, so we don't have to have double. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to me. You're
Our
welcome.
pleasure. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
All right, we'll go to Laurie, and then I think Mr. Lyson Hugh wanted to talk, and then Citizen Rodefeld, followed by Jen on Billings Road.
Okay, Laurie, are you on?
Yes.
Could you take an oath, please? Name and address for the record first.
Laurie Speranzo, 262 Billings Road.
262 Billings Road.
Ms. Speranzo, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it does feel like this plan is not significantly modified from the first plan that we saw in terms of the size of the house. I do have two challenges. One is I'm going to challenge that parking scenario is not even remotely realistic to have 2 cars parked in front of 2 cars inside of a garage, that is going to end up being street parking no matter how we look at it. Nobody's going to juggle those cars like that. The other thing that I'm wondering is how a plan can be put forth calling it 2.5 floors as opposed to 3 floors when there are 2 bedrooms and multiple bathrooms and a living area on that 3rd floor. So I'm just challenging the board to consider that that cannot be called 2.5 stories when there is full living space in the.
Well, we have a lot of homes with 2.5 stories and they build out, and I understand exactly what you're saying. I really do.
When we spoke at the last meeting about this 2 months ago, the issue was that all of the houses in the area have 2 floors with an attic that is not necessarily living space.
Right.
Putting eaves on something and calling it a half floor is not really a thing when it is basically the size of my 1st floor, which is one of my two families.
I hear you.
I'm challenging that. Thank you for listening.
I hear you. My pleasure. Thank you very much. What do we have, Jonathan?
Mr. Lyson Hugh.
Are you on?
Yes, I'm on.
All right. Could you take an oath, please? Name and address for the record first.
142 Hampton Circle, Quincy, Mass.
Yep, sure.
Ly Hugh.
Mr. Hugh,
Okay, take an oath, please.
yes, Mr. Hugh, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
You're
Hi,
up.
hi everyone. I just want to put the scale of this building, this proposal in perspective here. So the proposed building right now is 3,691 square feet. However, the zoning only allowed 2,827 square feet building in this site. So this building is about 864 square feet bigger than allowed by FAR. So, but then if you compare to all the building, existing building and the building right next to it, on the left-hand side, 297 Billings Road, 285 Billings Road, and 142 Hampton Circle. That all building and the existing building on the site, they are all about 1,100 square feet in average. So this building is at least 3.6 times bigger than all the existing building near that. And if we compare this quote unquote two-family building with the typical 2-family building nearby, the 136 Hampton Circle and 302 Billings Road are typical 2-family structure in this neighborhood. They are 2,400 square feet in average. So this proposal is 1,330 square feet bigger than those typical 2-family structures. So it is like the other resident had mentioned that it is more comparable to a 3-family structure than the 2-family structures. And this building is even bigger than the biggest in this neighborhood. The biggest building that I found online is 2,881 square feet. This building is still 800 square feet bigger than the biggest in this neighborhood. And it's just completely out of character in this area. And there's no reason, there's no hardship that we can find that the owner cannot build a building that's smaller and meet all the zoning requirements. If they build a smaller building, they will not have any side yard, front yard, backyard issues. So we don't need to sit around here and talk about this at all.
Okay, let the other people speak too. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you staying up and making sure your voice is heard in the city of Quincy. And I think that's what the members are here for. Thank you so much.
I appreciate
anything
that.
else
Thank
quick add? You got anything else you want to quickly add? Nope. Jonathan?
All right, we're gonna go to Citizen Rotafel, followed by Jen, and then Councilor Mahoney.
Citizen Rotafel, take an oath, please.
Citizen Rotafel, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
I do.
Name and address, John.
John Rotafel, 62 Grand Wall Road. My question, Chairman Akins, they're planning on knocking down the current structure and building a new
Yeah.
structure. And do you know what is the amount of square feet of the new structure on the first floor?
First floor, let me look it up. Wait a minute.
You know, basically, what's the footprint? So if I was going to look at this at the assessor database, what would
I
floor?
don't know, 1,200,
1,100
square feet, probably.
Yeah.
1,200 square feet.
Okay, okay. Well, you know, from looking at the map geo,
yeah,
I don't even understand how they can take credit for that brook. If you look at their property and the property that's across the street, they have their driveways built on the brook. If you look at any of the properties behind it on either way, it's like city land and no one's allowed to do anything on that brook. The way I look at it,
you have an easement to go in there, but that's okay. Go ahead.
no, but it's questionable, you know, that in an area that's prone to flooding, that's an A flood zone of
I hear
11
you.
feet, according to the map, okay? That area there and the area across the street would be better
Right.
off as open space, okay? The place, I mean, so there's absolutely no way that you should allow them to build. I mean, all I'm saying is that the square foot of the entire yard is like 7,000, a little bit over 7,000 square feet. But they're using the land that's on top of the brook in their calculation. They shouldn't be able to use that. I can't even see how the conservation would even approve.
This is what we guys do every day, John. We understand. We understand everything about that piece of property, what's under it, what's going where, what's going everywhere. I understand.
No, I mean, this is almost like a complete waste of time. Like, this should have been shot down immediately when this was brought in. Because
you have a right to process, Jonathan. Come on.
Well, I mean,
Come
I'm
on.
just saying
We're the good guy.
that,
We're the good guy.
I mean, according to the zoning and stuff, you know, we definitely cannot let people build in the flood zone. Like I said, I have no idea.
You do have a right to build in the flood zone. Depends on the property, John. We all know that. Every project's different, and every member of this board goes through it with a fine-tooth comb. These guys work so hard. I'll tell you, they're probably the hardest working board in this city. They spend hours and hours and hours and hours because I do it and I know they do it. When we talk about the shed on the left side of some property, they go, "Yeah,
well,
take that out of there."
in any other city in town, if they had the same sort of land circumstances, if it was located in a flood zone and stuff, there's no way this would get approved. So something like
I'm
this.
not saying that, John. All I'm saying is these guys put in hundreds of hours a month.
I just don't understand. I'm insulted as a citizen when people bring proposals like this up because it's who do they think they are?
But they have a right to. That's America.
It's insulting. It's a waste of your time and it's a waste of everyone's time on the board and it's a waste of government money and it's just not right.
You know what, Citizen Rutherford, I'm going to argue with you. It's not because they got a right to bring this up in front of us and it's up to us, the board members, to investigate that property, look at it and go, you know what? This is what I think. That's my 2 cents. There's 5 of us. We all talk together and we decide. That's the American way, John. Come on. You own a piece of property, you got a right to develop it.
Not when you're in a flood zone. You lose those rights.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Not
true at all, John.
Neighbors. Okay. If you look at the flood zone map, this is right in the middle of it. So,
John, I'm not going to argue with you. Please, just get to the end. Get to the end.
Well, the point is, it's a small lot size. Even if you give them credit for the 7,000 square feet,
I hear you.
It's just there. Okay. And
so you're saying the house is way too big.
I just don't understand it. I just don't understand why someone would want to do this there. Okay, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so
Not
anyway,
you,
I'm
it's
against
not
this
me.
project.
It's probably not a lot of people, but they have a right.
I'll stop talking because I know you guys are going to vote no on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Further, we have
Jen from Billing.
Jen, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Name and address, please.
Jen Santry, 304 Billings Road.
And Jen, please take an oath.
Santry, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
I do.
Thank you.
You have the floor.
Thank you. I just wanted to agree with my neighbors. I oppose this new structure. It's too big. And I think for me, living across the street, that the parking will be, it will be crazy when, even if you have, say, 10 people over, that's like 10 more cars that you're bringing to Billings Road, that I don't want our street to turn into like Southie, where, you're fighting for a parking spot in front of your house. You have to walk down 2 blocks just to get in front of your house.
Right.
So yeah, I just want to be on record that it's too big.
Thank you very much, and thank you for letting us know how you feel. Appreciate that. And is it Marion? Who's next?
We have Councilor Mahoney.
Oh, Councilor Mahoney's next. Councilor, you're up.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to join on and support the neighbors in this particular project. It's too big, and also Councilor Phelan and his leadership on this. The neighborhood is mostly predominantly much smaller buildings. It's too crowded for this area. Almost every neighbor has made a poignant reason why this is the wrong development in this area. Parking is definitely an issue, and I applaud the woman who basically said parking the 2-car garage with 2 cars in front of it on a single lane that's coming out. That's going to be just a nightmare. Everybody knows that they're not going to move those cars. And then there's potentially 5 people that will be living in 2 bedrooms. It could be up to 10 people in that home. So 4 won't be enough. But I believe that everybody has a right to bring this forward. I do question, everybody does not have a right to develop. If they have to come to zoning, they have to meet the zoning rules and they have to prove hardship. And I don't believe they're proving a hardship in this particular case. But I do appreciate the hard work that this board does do. And I know that you do the due diligence that has to be done, and you allow everybody to speak. So I do appreciate that. So I want to be on record to be opposed, and I thank you for all your hard work. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Mahoney. I appreciate your time, and I know it's not easy going out for some of these projects and looking around and meeting the public, and you do a lot of work, and I appreciate that too. Thank you. Jonathan?
Not seeing any other further hands, Mr. Chairman.
Second call. Opposed or undecided? Third call. Opposed or undecided?
Mr. Chairman, I have Kathy Wills raising her hand.
Kathy, are you there? Kathy?
Yes.
Kathy, you there?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Name and address, please. That's fine.
Kathy Wells, 100 Hamilton Street.
Okay.
And primarily,
you have to Miss, wait a minute. You have to take an oath before you speak. Thank you. All right.
Ms. Wills, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chin.
Yes.
You're up.
Like a lot of the neighbors, I'm just opposed to it. It's just too big. It abuts my backyard. And I'm worried about that. When you see a lot of structures going up, they tend to pave the whole site in. Is there going to be any green grass? Is the whole area going to be paved in? If it's paved in back, there's going to be flooding in my backyard. And another thing I'm worried about.
That's not what they have planned. They have planned to pave the driveway in there. And that's
just the driveway, and there'll be green grass.
There'll be some grass in the back and some grass on the side, but not much, right?
And another, it's just too big for this neighborhood, and I'm afraid that if they're allowed to go above and beyond what the ordinance is that correct?
Correct. That's why they're here, ma'am.
Yeah, it's going to open whole floodgate for other people that sell the house. And then they can tear it down and say, well, this house went, 1,000 feet above and beyond. So can we.
Yep.
It's just going to open a floodgate for other homes to do that too.
And the board does their due diligence. They look at the whole neighborhood. They look at the whole project. They look at this. They look at the neighbors. And the most important part is you people staying in, taking the time to log on and be here with us. That's most important to us.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for listening to us.
Thank you, and you have a good evening. Thank you for logging on and letting us know. Appreciate that. Jonathan, anything else?
I'm not seeing any more virtual hands, Mr. Chairman. If you want to make the last,
Huh?
You want to make the last call? Go ahead.
Last call. Anyone opposed or undecided? All that part of the hearing closed. There's none. Jonathan, none?
No hand.
No hands. Time to go. Okay. I've listened to the neighborhood here, and damn, this place is big. The FAR is out of sight. I mean, it's just, come on, way too big for that place. I'll be voting no. My vice chair, as we speak today, Mr. Radell.
So I'm a little torn on this one. I'm not as adamantly opposed as everyone, and I think just to hear me out, it's Res B. You're allowed 3 stories in Res B. They don't even have to do the door.
No question.
So,
right.
You know, and maybe Mr. Duca can answer this question for me. By right, what can they go up? Could they build on their existing footprint? Can they go up 2 stories by right?
By right, they can go up on the original footprint. The ordinance says that in Residence B, you can have 3 stories. So they can have 3 stories on the original.
So I mean, it's almost not that there's danger in saying no. I don't look at it that way. I look at it, what's going to be the better option. So, you know, I mean, somebody can build a 2 additional stories and make that a 2-family by right today. And they'll be 2 feet off the lot line, and they will still have the same parking issues that exist. They'll still have the same, you know, issues that exist for I mean, the only thing they'd have to adhere to is the FAR, which we're acting like this is way out of whack. It's the FAR on this thing is a 2,800 square foot house. It's
25% though, Brian.
I thought it's 40% Res B.
40%.
It's
40. It's 40% Res B.
He's got 50, so he's 25% off. He's 25% off. Instead of 40, it's 52.
No, he's 10% off of 40. He's 52. He's
right. 10% is what? 0.1 is what off of that? 25%.
Yeah, so 300 square feet. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, I mean, all right, so maybe it comes down to an additional 300 square feet. I'm just saying, like, that if people want to, you know, bash.
Building, I get.
No. I mean, then this shouldn't be Res B from what every account I heard from people today, but it is. So it is. You know, this I keep coming back to this. Councilors have the opportunity to request these changes and to look at the zoning code again, because we continually run into this where people are feeling like their homes are being, you know, enclosed upon, yet by all ordinances, you know, this thing, you know, can be built here. And it can be built here at, you know, all right, so call it 10% less of what, you know, the applicant proposed. You know, so I'm just torn. I'm torn by it. I'll sit back and listen to what everybody else has to say.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Radell. O'Brien, Mr. O'Brien?
Yeah, the thing of it is it has the appearance of a 3-story building with the dormers up there. And it looks large for the site. If you look at the other multi-family houses on that in the next 2-3 blocks there, they're on larger sites. Now I know it's old. The houses that have been there for a while. Across the street, there's an open lot on a 2-family there, and the other 2 families are on larger lots that are further down.
Charlie, I did that. There's one 2 doors down that. I looked at the map. There's one 2 doors down that's essentially like a couple hundred square feet difference, and it's on a smaller lot. You know,
right?
I did the same
on
thing.
The corner, right?
Yeah.
See, and again, too, that's my issue. I just think in the middle of the block, it just appears to me as though it's too big to fit on that site in the middle of the block, with the restrictions that are there. I have one across the street from where I live, and it's the way that you purpose it is different.
Yeah.
And in that one there, I just think it may not be as big as the appearance it is, but to me it looks like it's too big. So I'll be voting no on it.
Okay, Mr. Chin.
Right. The project looks like it's out of character with the neighborhood because of the size. These are relatively small houses in that particular area, which is why it looks out of character. And I'm a little bit concerned about the brook, and I know that there's a flooding issue down in that area of Quincy as well. But Brian makes a point that something very close to what is being proposed in terms of size could be built. And it seems to me that I'm not sure that the neighbors have taken that into account. So my suggestion would be that there be some type of meeting, or go back to the drawing board and, everybody consider what could go in there versus what is being proposed. Because this is Res B, and a lot of things could go there that are quite sizable.
Yeah. And I understand that, and I'm trying to explain one thing, that the FAR in that is 52. That's what bothers me. 40. That's why they put a max of 40. So much square footage on that lot. The lot's 7,000 square feet. We're trying to put in a house. We're 25% over. It's not just small. It's really not. It's a lot bigger. That house is a lot bigger than what they could under circumstances. That's what I want you guys, like, you're saying it's 10%. It ain't 10%. It's a 0.40 to a 0.5. That's 10 points is 25% bigger than the house that should be there. That's the only reason I brought that up. But all right, let's hear from Mr. Himmel. I don't know what his 2 cents are, and we'll talk about it again if we all sit together. Go ahead, Mr. Himmel, you're up.
I think it's too much house for that neighborhood. I don't think it fits. Granted, it is Res B, but not this. It's too much. And I'll be voting against it.
All right, so we don't have a vote, number one. Number two, let's talk about, you want him to come back with a little house, smaller house, or do you want him to go and build by rights? What do you want? Or do you want the neighbors and the council? I heard from the council. The council says there's no way I want that house built.
Marty.
Yeah.
Can I just apologize for a second? I was looking at I for some reason was looking at it that it was 3,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying 10%. I thought,
yeah,
I didn't realize it was 3,600.
Yeah. I mean, this house is huge, and I'm going,
that's my bad. Completely my bad.
No. And I get it, but I'm just thinking, like, as far as so far out, to me, if he goes like 4.2, that's what we're here for. 4.3, we talk about it. Now we're up to 5.2. We go, whoa, this guy's taking like a lot of land. And we got to sit and talk about with the neighbors, and they're pissed off, and I get it.
I wasn't looking at the percentage. I was just doing the quick math. I didn't even realize it, so that's why I was confused. Sorry, that's my bad. So.
No, that's fine. We all do that.
I'm glad you're not a
banker. Look at a plan. Don't see it.
Yeah, but I'm an underwriter, Charlie. That's even worse.
So anyway, I just think they can go build right now what they want, or they can come back with another proposal. It just has to be completely different. We had 3 people that said no, 2 undecided, and the voters know right now. So what do we want to do? Let him go build what he wants to build by right, or do we want to just have him come back?
I'd like to see him come back if he can try and come to a conclusion. I think Russell had a good suggestion, and just try and find something in the 2,800 square foot range. Let's try and find something around the FAR. If that's not what they want to do. I mean, even if by right, I don't think he can go over the FAR, can he? If you put 3 stories.
No, he can't.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, I do like the dimensional changes. Like, I do like the house pushed back a little. I do like the house centered on the lot. I don't like it 2 feet from the side. I'd like to try and find a solution rather than, him just throws 2 stories additionally on there. But, maybe he doesn't care.
Right. All right. Mr. Chin, I heard from Mr. O'Brien. You said no. So let's hear from you. What do you think on this matter?
Well, again, because of the restrictions with the brook there, you're squeezing that garage in.
Yes.
If you're gonna put 4 cars in there, you got one way out. It's not like a turnaround or anything up the back there.
I feel the same way. I don't feel that house should be built at all. I just say, you know what? He bought a piece of property, let him buy it, let him build what he wants on it, but he's gonna build it by right. That's the way I feel.
I mean, you could build a nice single family, and that's an area where there's a number of single families on that side of the street.
Exactly, and he can build a 2-family, but he can build it with the right file. You know, it's just too large. It's too large for us, I think, to consider that house. It's just 25% too big for me.
Yeah,
with the brook and everything. And Mr. Himmel was a no, so it was Mr. Chen. Mr. Chen, how do you feel about this now?
So I've given it more consideration. I've also heard Brian recalculate his math a little bit. And like I said before, I believe this building is oversized. I believe it is out of character with the neighborhood.
Right.
And I am concerned about the flooding and the brook. I believe it is an active brook. Even if it isn't active, there's still flooding down there.
Right.
And so I would be voting no.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we just make a vote? I'll have a vote. We'll vote no. Let them decide what they want to do. If they come back, it's got to be a different project, or they can build by right. So I will ask Mr. Radell for a motion, please, to deny the project.
Mr. Chairman, in matter number ZBA 21-85, JCBT Architect for a special permit floodplain variance to demolish the existing single-family and detached garage and build a new 3-story 2-family structure with 2-car detached garage on the premises number 295 Billings Road, Quincy, and make a motion to deny.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, Madam Clerk, can we have the vote, please?
Sure can. Charlie O'Brien,
Yes, ma'am.
Russell Chin,
Yes.
Brian Riddell,
Yes.
John Himmel,
Yes.
and Martin Akins.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so, sorry, we denied your project. You have to resubmit a completely different project, or build by right is your options at this time. Okay? We have a motion to, I guess.
Adjourn.
Adjourn. We're done?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Substantially different.
On the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hello from sunny Florida. I'll see you next week.
Sorry for my bad math.
Hey,
Recording
everybody.
stopped. The recording has stopped.
We've done that.